Hi, this is John Rowell for the Rowell Report. Today is Monday, January 26, 2026, and hope you're doing well. We still have power here after the snow and ice storm, so we're certainly grateful for that. And if you like this video at any time, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. So today I'm focusing on the city of Kupiansk, and Kupiansk is a key city, but it doesn't have the same value as a Slovyansk, as a Zaporizhia, as a Odessa or Kherson. Certainly not Pokrovsk. Kupiansk was a smaller city before the war, and certainly much smaller now. It does not have much of a high-rise area to be able to build fortifications. So a small city that's flat without being able to fortify the front line. So it isn't the easiest city to defend. And what happened was that Russia made some advances. They took most or all of Kupiansk, declared victory, raised a flag, and then it appears like when in the bullfight, when the bullfighter has like a object that is red and moves it, and the bull is attracted to that and begins to charge. This seems to have been the strategy of the Russian Federation to say, look, Ukraine, we have Kupiansk, come and get it. And so while Ukrainian forces are busy freeing this city for a symbolic victory more than anything else, Russia was advancing in many other areas, specifically in the Zaporizhia area. This is a key area where Russia sees that it basically has a clear path to Zaporizhia now that it is overcome Guliapole and is approaching Ordokiv. So this symbolic battle over Kupiansk seems to be more of a magnet that the Russians are using to attract the Ukrainians away from some of the key areas where they want to advance, and to keep them busy and tied up, especially creating narratives about who's in control of Kupiansk and who isn't. In the end, it really isn't that important who's in control of Kupiansk or not, because if the Russian forces are nearby, they can control the skies with the drone warfare and create a kill zone. So they don't necessarily need to be exactly in the city center of Kupiansk to control Kupiansk or its surrounding areas. But we do have quite a wide variety of interpretations of information that are coming to the different mappers. You have some mappers who are relying more on pro-Ukrainian sources, information sources, to provide them with updates on the front line and how things are going. And then you have those who depend more on Russian sources and on more of a pro-Russian narrative. So there's a battle of narratives, there's the battle of information sources, and it seems very strange that so many people are reporting on the same area and we're getting such different results. So I'm going to take a look at some of those different results here. And here we have the deep state map, which is deeply connected to the Ukrainian military and their military effort. And the deep state map is being used by Western sources, by think tanks, by NATO generals to figure out where the front line is. And so a deep state map tends to be a little bit behind the Russian advances. So as Russia advances, the deep state map is slow to reflect that. But when the Ukrainian forces advance, it has those changes made right away. So, but that could also be in part the lack of more reliable sources from the more of a neutral or pro-Russian camp. So anyway, we have the deep state map, which basically paints a picture of small little groups of Russian soldiers trapped by the Ukrainians, and the Ukrainian forces are mopping that up. Then we have a mapping service called AMK Mapping, and this is their map of Kupiansk. I can zoom out just a little bit, and you can see that Russia has kind of the northeast corner of, if you divide Kupiansk into four corners, and so you have the northwest, the southwest, and the southeast, and the Russians have most of the northeast. So in the Suryaki maps, the situation is very similar. The Russians only really have a strong presence in the northeast part of the four corners, and the military summary channel map. So they have Russia also primarily in the northeast part of Kupiansk, with a large gray area to the west of Kupiansk, and right there on that line that borders the northeast and southeast areas. So then we have the some call it a pro-Russian or more of a Russian narrative map service, DivGen, and they basically also have Russia in the northeast without a heavy presence in any other part of Kupiansk. And finally, we have Calibrated, which has the Russian forces in quite a large area of all of Kupiansk, except the western and southern part of Kupiansk. So all of these mappers will vouch for their information sources. So, but if you have to take all of these mappers and find a specific point of agreement, and it is that in the northeast part of Kupiansk, the Russians are fairly firmly entrenched, and the rest of Kupiansk is either in partly in the gray area or completely controlled by Ukraine. So, like I say at the beginning, there was there seemed to be some mind games going on by the Russians to the Ukrainians. Basically, come on, come and take it, come and take it. It's yours, you want it. And so Ukraine sent a lot of forces to the Kupiansk area to try to counterattack the Russians, and the Russians gave way to large parts of Kupiansk. And so is this the magnet to keep the Ukrainians tied down in this area while the Russians advance in other key areas? This is only a question that can be answered at the end of the war, when they will speak about their strategies in the different cities. But like I say, Kupiansk is not a Sloviansk, it's not a Pokrovsk, it's not a Zaporizhia, it's not Odessa, it's not Kherson. This isn't one of the key cities in this whole conflict. It is a key area, and of course, if Russia wants to advance, it eventually will have to take this city and continue marching west. But for the moment, they seem to be content just to have the Ukrainians come into what would be their kill zone, and to continue to eliminate Ukrainian military forces and equipment. So anyway, that concludes my video about Kupiansk. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you back here in this channel for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.